And we're back. Welcome to Silent Podcast, where we are anything but silent. I am Mark, and I am here today with Joe and Ian from The Amazing Race. How are you guys today?
We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
Spirits are high. We watched with some racers last night, which was fun. Both current racers as well from our season, as well as from some past seasons, winners and non-winners. So it's good to be in good company, people that have experienced this before.
Yeah, believe it or not, we're coming off of a really fun night.
That's the best way, right? I mean, I think you guys as fans had probably one of the more fun episodes to be eliminated on. We'll talk on that later, but I mean, how have you enjoyed watching the season as fans and players?
It's been really, really fun. We had an incredible premiere party in Brooklyn with fellow cast members of ours. And it's just, of course, there's some anxiety and like, how am I going to sound? How am I going to be portrayed? What did I say? I don't even remember, but it's still so fun. It's really enjoyable.
Awesome. As fans of the show, how did you prep for this? I know you guys have been longtime fans. I read that you guys are fans of Amazing Race and Survivor. And how do you prep for a challenge like this?
Well, part of COVID was us rewatching all the seasons of The Amazing Race. I'm sure as a lot of families did during that time. But what we did differently in the rewatch was we started deciding who was going to do what challenges and actually writing them down in Joe's phone, like in his notes app, which is like a little like nerdy, but like that's like what we did. That's how we passed time during COVID, being in lockdown in New York City.
Not even with the plan of applying yet.
Yeah, not even with the plan of applying. Really like just being nerds.
Let's just write this down.
So we prepared that way and kind of got a feel for like over the longevity of the show, do all of these challenges, because they're all so unique, all of the challenges, like, do we feel comfortable or would one of us feel comfortable doing those? And like we quickly decided who would do what. And then leading up to the show, after feeling like we were probably going to get casted, we went to Philly, no electronics, paper maps, and we navigated because neither of us
with our race bags that we already had.
Yeah, with our race bags, like fully packed, full. Just trying to navigate a city that we really knew nothing about. So that's kind of how we prepped.
I mean, Philly is one of those good cities for that, especially because it is definitely a walkable city, but it's also like a city that's a little bit confusing. I've gone there recently myself with my fiance too.
Nice.
Google Maps is a friend, but of course, you have to be like, hey, where's the love sign and all that stuff.
Yeah, try to do it without Google Maps. Yeah, we actually did DC as well, which is also confusing because every road has the same name twice, but like Northwest, Southwest, so it's like confusing. But
so as fans of the show, and I know you guys watched every season and everything like that, and you said you wanted to be like Nadia and Natalie, which I actually did see that in how you guys played a lot, and also the Afghanimals.
Yes.
How would you guys assess yourself in that mindset of like, how did you feel about those comparisons that you wanted to race as?
I think we did pretty well. We wanted to pick pieces from teams that we've seen previously, like who's the most competitive or who competed in a way that we want. Let's take some of that. Who had the most fun, right? Let's take some of that and assemble sort of our own way to approach the race. And I think we delivered pretty well on that. We did a lot.
Joe did better than me.
We did a lot that even wasn't even aired, right? So we tried to really, really have a lot of fun with it, the most fun that we possibly can, while still being super competitive. And I think we did that.
Yeah,
so I'm pretty happy.
A big ethos of our relationship, Mark, is like this very jovial, playful nature of just our day to day. And like, I don't know that necessarily got captured as much as like we would like it to have gotten captured during the race. But that's something that I was pretty proud of as we look back on our race experience, is like we stayed true to like us as a couple and us as partners, is that we were constantly playing pranks on each other, even on the race course.
Yeah.
And in the hotel rooms afterwards and stuff. So we stayed true to ourselves there. I think like one learning is I wish like looking back on it, I would have had more fun on the race course, like really enjoyed it more and really like leaned into the culture and the experiences more. You're just like so stressed and so anxious all the time and like go
objective focused, right?
Yeah
it's
hard to like take a step back and be like, hey, like when's the next time you're going to be in Jaipur, India? Right? Like, ever?
Right.
Like, look around, like, enjoy this. Like,
yeah, look
take
at this
in.
beautiful winding road. And like, yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to have fun and take in the beauty and take in the culture. And we try to do the best we can. But at the end of the day, like, you have a set of objectives, you're in a race, and that's very distracting.
So when Bertram and Elise ask us to do this again,
Which they will.
we'll know how to really take those moments and make more out of them than we did the first time.
So did you guys find yourselves trying to strategize with other teams? Like, what teams were you working with versus what teams were you possibly not working with?
Yeah, early on, we got to spend a decent amount of time with Chelsea and Robin, actually, which may come as a little bit of a surprise, but we just connected with them right from the get-go. We kind of were telling each other about our personal lives and our backstories, and it just, theirs really resonated with us. And so early on, we were kind of aligned with them and were, ready and willing to sort of take that alliance directly into challenges.
Also, Joel and Garrett, the beard, they call them brothers.
The Beard Bros, yeah.
The Beard Bros. Yeah, like in kind of orientation week, when you're not allowed to speak to anybody and everything is like kind of getting you acclimated to the rules and the whatnot of the Amazing Race, like never in a million years would we have been like badass moms, Beard Bros, that's going to be our like main two alliances. But like when you got on the race course, like we quickly realized like we've got a lot in common with these people, and like I think we could see ourselves like making serious alliances with them, and we did.
Yeah, and how cool is it that all of these different diverse teams get to come together and go to all these different diverse cultural places together, and you get to see these connections that no one would ever expect to actually happen, in our hometowns, in our home cities. And so that is such a cool, unique thing. And I think that's exactly, what Bertram and Elise were creating when they had this.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. On the actual race course, like, how did it feel when that 150 flight showed up for you guys? Considering how that was like the most intense.
We were so juiced up. And then what we found out after is like the one flight that was before us, Mark, ended up getting played to after us. So we were on cloud 9.
100%. Going into the race, when we found out that it was going back to the traditional way that the race was going, booking your own flights, and there could be chaos and people could take different flights, we were so juiced up. We were so excited about that because that's a strength of ours. We're really good at, the logistics of adventure traveling and getting to hard places. And so when we ended up getting that flight, a part of me was like, yeah, this tracks actually.
And like you were actually able to enjoy yourself, I guess, a little bit since you got to the location pretty quickly. So you might have been able to enjoy yourself for a nap or whatever you can do.
Yeah, we ended up getting like a 4-hour nap, whereas some teams didn't get any time in between that flight and when we did the fruit market.
Yeah, in Vietnam, yeah.
And talk about that fruit market. You guys had the most insane thing ever, like, because you couldn't get the clue. Like,
let's talk about that actually.
Look, that was totally on me, and I own that. I did not get the clue. It was a tough day, but luckily the tile challenge, Joe helped us make up some significant time. I think you were probably the fastest to get the tile.
I think I was, yeah. I think it took me about somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes, probably.
Oh, I don't even think it was that long.
I was trying to when we were podcasting about the episode, we were trying to figure out, looking every team is there for at least half an hour, but
it's tough to get a sense of how much time is going by for each team at the challenges. But yeah, I was quick with that one. Definitely an element of luck. Let's be clear about that.
Obviously, but I mean, like, it worked in your favor. I mean, that's what the race is sometimes.
For sure.
Like,
100%, Mark.
Like, how did that feel like? Because you guys were always like in the 9th or 7th place, basically, until you get there and get 4th place. Like, did it feel like the tides were churning in your favor?
It absolutely did. But then, in true Amazing Race fashion, the next leg equalized. So when we started the next leg, our solid 4th place was just, now we're back as one pack.
Yeah, it was unfortunate peak timing for us. We peaked a little too late, Mark.
It happens though. But I mean, like, I still think you guys had like a really fun last leg though. With like, it looked like everyone's having a lot of trouble with the donut on their head. I know you were having a lot of trouble with that, Ian.
Because my brain's so big. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Odd shaped head is what I'll go with.
And that mural was also really hard. I feel like you got unlucky with the donut shaped thing, and then like the mural, everyone was having trouble with.
Yeah.
Everyone was having trouble with the mural. It was just an attention to detail that none of us were ready for. Like, we were all prepared for attention to detail, and this was up here.
I think only one team finished that mural in under an hour, right? Like,
Oh my
I think
God.
it was just Greg and John,
Yeah,
right?
Greg and John were pretty quick with it.
I think they were the only team to finish in under an hour, and like the rest of us were like closer to 2 hours. Whereas I think the doll thing, it was like a 20 to 30 minute, according to some teams. So, you know, again, to your point, Mark, a lot of it is, you know, luck and picking the right detour
Luck of the
and
choice. Yeah.
And so we just drew a bad straw that time. But look, it was such an amazing experience. And I think you saw that as we were exiting the show. We were just like full of love and like full of appreciation for getting to do such an amazing thing. And even last night watching it back, it's like, yeah, like, did it suck? Yes. And would we have stayed to the very end if we could? Of course. But like, you can't look back on this experience and be bitter about it. It was so unique and so incredible that, you know, we'll take that with us forever.
100%.
Before we go, I have to ask the question though. You, as fans of the show, I think everyone loves to watch a foot race, and you were in a very long foot race on the show.
Yeah.
How did that feel in the moment, and how did that feel watching it back?
Which foot race, Mark? We were in one with Todd and Ashley.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh my God.
Which we wish we would have lost, by the way.
I mean, last night's big one. Yeah, at the end of the episode.
The iconic one with Morgan and Lena. I mean, it was an emotional roller coaster. We thought we were out. We thought we were done for. They left the mural challenge, right? And we assumed that they got it done, but they really switched. We didn't know that. So when we saw them get in the rickshaw, we were like, oh my God, we're still in this. And then there was, you know, probably a 20-minute drive down the mountain where we were just strategizing about how to eventually pass
on
them.
a very narrow road. You couldn't pass them up. So we were behind them for like 2 miles down this mountain, like strategizing.
Just like,
what are we going to do? So then when we passed them, we were like, oh, like,
let's go.
Because like a race, Mark, we knew we could beat them in a foot race. Like, it wasn't a matter, it was just like, even if we're right behind them, we will beat them because we can beat them in a foot race. But their rickshaw driver like made a turn into like oncoming traffic, literally, and ours
because India.
Yeah, because India, and then ours got stuck at a red light, and it was one of those red lights, Mark. You're gonna laugh. It had like a timer on it, so it counted down from 120 seconds. So we're literally watching second by second while they're like gone. So we were at that point, we were like, okay, like we're probably out. But we ended up getting to the mat like less than 15 seconds after them.
Yeah.
So
it was
a nail biter.
It was if you're gonna go out that way, if you're gonna go out at all, go out that way. Totally. It was iconic. It was so fun to watch.
Very amazing race.
Yeah.
Awesome. Before we wrap up, anything else you guys want to talk about your journey on the show, or anything fun that we didn't see? Like, you guys are incredible, and we like, genuinely, myself and Sabrina have loved watching you guys for the first third of the season.
We just loved it. We definitely had so much more about our relationship and our story to show. You know, we're constantly playing jokes and pranks on each other, and we, you know, did some of that in the race too, but we, you know, didn't really get to show as much of that as we would have liked. But we are just so appreciative of this experience. We really are.
Well, thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Mark. Good to meet you.